Hello, everyone. Welcome to Navigator Business Solutions Customer Experience webinar. Today's webinar is presented by Alluvia, which is an integration partner of ours, and going to run through a few scenarios on that. My name is Jack Thrush. I'm the accounts director here at Navigator. Again, we're very excited to welcome Gary from Alluvia. He will present the integrations scenarios, and then we will be accepting questions. Everyone's on mute now because of the dreaded GoToWebinar feedback and echo chamber that typically happens during a GoToWebinar. So you'll be on mute, and but you can chat your questions over in the questions box, which should be on the GoToWebinar pop out for you. So just enter your questions there. At the end of this, we will save some time to answer them. With that, I will turn it over to you, Gary. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks, Jack, and welcome everyone to today's webinar on banking and credit card integration for SAP. As Jack mentioned, we are an integration partner of Navigator's, and we're offering this solution to Navigator's customers. Just to start, I'm going to give you just a brief overview of Alluvia and then jump into the bank reconciliation solution. Whoops, I went 2 slides there. There we go. Okay, so Alluvia is a cloud-based integration solution, and the value of that to you is it provides a rapid deployment as well as zero impact upgrade scenarios. So when you're going to upgrade, basically just stop the integration, you upgrade, and we start the integration up again. We are available for all 3 SAP products, being Business One, ByDesign, and S/4HANA. So no matter which one of those platforms you're running on, we can provide you with any of our solutions. Our areas of focus are e-commerce integrations, marketplace channels, CRM, logistics, procurement and spend management, and of course banking, which we're going to spend the majority of our time on today, as well as some additional SAP solutions. So just to touch on each area at a very high level, and this is an inclusive list of everything that we have, just parts of the more well-known or more popular integrations in each product category. So in e-commerce, we integrate to the likes of Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Magento, Channel Advisors from an e-commerce standpoint, Square from a point of sale, as well as Shopify from a point of sale perspective. Marketplaces, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, the usual suspects. From a CRM, we have very tight integration to Salesforce, HubSpot, and Zoho. ShipStation is by far our #1 shipping solution that we integrate to, although we do others as well as 3PL. And our other SAP products such as Concur and Ariba, Concur on an expense management and Ariba on the procurement side. We also integrate to Expensify and Procurify. So now I'm going to jump into our bank reconciliation product here. So our bank reconciliation module connects to most banks globally, if not all banks globally, and I'll explain in a moment. We import bank statements. We also export ACH or outbound payments. We import credit card statements as well and reconcile them. And it's all done within the SAP platform using the user-defined matching rules within SAP. So the way we integrate is one of 2 ways. We either use the APA integration that's available through the likes of Plaid, MX, or Yodlee, and they connect to your bank and we connect to them, and we import the information through their platform. And that works for 80% of the integrations, but on a certain percentage of, especially around commercial banks, we run into the issue that there's not enough information provided in the API integration. So for that, we'll attack it from a different direction, which is through a file download. So here is depicted 3 different banks integrating in 2 different scenarios. One was through the API connection through Plaid, another is through file integration, and this is just showing that we use both US and European protocols to accomplish this task. So we will connect to the bank, the bank will download a file into a secured FTP location, we pick that up and create the bank statement, within SAP. Conversely, on the outgoing payment side, we will take the transaction from SAP, upload it into the FTP location, which will be picked up from the bank, and payments will be processed, alleviating you from having to actually log into the bank and create the payments. So here I have a demo of the Alluvia bank reconciliation module, and I'm not sure whether you can hear the audio or not. Jack?
No, we can't hear the audio. At least I can't.
Okay, so I'll just talk to it. So what's happening here is we are logging into Plaid. You would log in just as if you would log into your bank. It asks you for your code, and then you're linked up to your bank. And then you're presented with all your accounts. You select your bank accounts or your credit card statement. In this case, it's a credit card statement. And then you're prompted to rename the account so it's recognizable. If you have multiple accounts at a bank, you want to give them each a different name so you know which account you're dealing with. Once that's done, you save it. So now there's no documents in the system because we just connected it. We're refreshing it, and we have the new bank statement. Now, this is the Alluvia platform you're looking at here, which you don't necessarily have to log into, but for the demo's sake, we're showing it to you where you can see all of the transactions that are in the file. Once the transaction then is posted, it's imported into, in this case, SAP Business One. So this is just showing that the bank statement in SAP matches the statement that we pulled from the bank. And we double click on that and we can view the details of that statement. Again, the pop-up depicting they match what was in the file. So the way this works is by operation codes. We set up the operation codes within SAP, and that's used to help us match the transactions. So we've created the codes for gas, office supplies, and so forth. So here you have the shop's digital purchases corresponding to office supplies. So when we've set up the business partner codes, and now it can match on business partner codes and amounts, or business partner and invoice, and that all depends on the matching rules that you set up. So here we're showing that transactions that are being matched either on business partner code or GL code, and the different categories basically of the matching. So now we're going to do a proposed posting, and it's going ahead and trying to match the actual lines, and all the ones with the check mark have been matched. Here we're identifying a transaction that has not been checked and trying to identify what this is so we can manually match it. We identify its software, finding the account, and that's how you would go ahead and manually match the transaction. Here's one for flowers, and we're just going to put that to office supplies. So this is when it's finding a payment, and it's going to create a payment on account for invoices that it cannot find. Once that's complete and all of them have been reconciled, you finalize it. Now we're just looking up a business partner and looking at the account balance. And there it is. It's matched. And here's the outgoing payment. And that identifies that it was matched using the bank statement reconciliation. Now we're in our chart of accounts. Again, when we drill into the transactions, you'll notice that they were created by the bank statement import. And similarly here. So there you have the bank reconciliation process for business one. It's very similar in ByDesign, which I'm going to take you through in a minute, but it basically is bringing the payments, the statements in, facilitating the reconciliation process, and then you go ahead and reconcile any unmatched transactions manually and then post them. So now in ByDesign, the way this works is from the download statement perspective, they're loaded into the platform, or the Alluvia platform, which you see here. There's one statement for each bank, regardless of how many accounts are at that bank. We feed the statement into ByDesign, and it generates a bank statement in the background, depicted here. The statements are pushed into ByDesign, and under liquidity management, you can see them. And here is an example of a bank statement with multiple accounts showed here, 177 and 176. Once you have the transactions are matched to the correct customer or supplier, the invoice ID, GL count, etc., depending on how you set up your matching rules. Okay, and then it goes ahead and tries to match the transactions as seen here. If they are marked as post-processing not required, that means it was able to find the match. And if not, you would go ahead, as you saw in the demo earlier, you would go ahead and manually match it. So here we're doing the ByDesign matched into the correct customer, Shopify guest account, as you can see here, and created the payment transaction in the background. And then on the converse side of the opposite side of the coin, we have the upload of the payments. So within ByDesign, you're going to go ahead and do your payment run within ByDesign. You have your payment run job results here. And the details behind the payment run. And then if you notice, it then creates an outbound file, and it's based on payment file type. So you could have check, wire transfer, bank transfer, whatever the case may be. You set up those methods, and based on those methods, the transactions that we include in the file, that file is then uploaded. And here you see the file sitting within the Alluvia platform, successfully transmitted to the bank. So that is our bank reconciliation and credit card statement reconciliation demonstration.